saving for later, and I'm making sure everything is good. Yep, we good. Okay. So last time, I don't want to mention how things work because whatever. But last time you guys had finally successfully rescued Ramza from whatever the hell world that place was that you were. But in in doing so, also one of your party members died.
You finally got
Uh,
some blood. You got your first legitimate death.
I mean, technically, that's the second time someone's died. It's just the first time that they couldn't be brought back.
I
Well, I
mean,
mean, it's still the same person who
yeah,
suffered the death,
yeah, it's definitely still first blood.
just a different character.
yeah.
Um. So yeah, after you have returned back to this plane of existence, uh, you went to Fort City and delivered Foss's body to the Dragoons, where they were already starting to have a ceremony anyways after their big remove all undead from Goug and the the castle and Fort City. So going there and back wouldn't be a big chore every time someone wants to go through there. Uh, but uh, fucking, I can't remember what his character's name is now. But Archibald had many sad drinks. Uh, and while that was happening, the other two uh, went up to. Actually, you guys aren't even at New Home still. You're still actually in Lazalia, technically. Um, and reunited Ramza with both Agris and a guy. It's Mustadio, but technically none of your characters know who that is. So
Never heard of him.
Sounds like some dude who talks like, "Oh, my name is Mustadio. How's it going?"
not really. I this is just Mila, or would I feel like Mustadio would have like some kind of like Cockney accent or something like that, but that's just me.
I mean, if we were talking in like, yeah, I mean, definitely something more brusque and basic. Like he's not like a nobleman.
Right.
Well, okay, technically he is, but he doesn't act like one. Like
I mean, technically.
Is he? Is he a
he
noble?
just
I thought he
acts like
wasn't.
I
I
believe he is.
I don't think he is. I think he. I
I
don't.
thought his dad was like a baron or something from.
I don't remember. It's been a long time since I played actual tactics, so I don't remember
Get
parts
your
and bits of
fucking
stories.
like,
Uh, but yeah, while they were having that conversation, uh, Alma took Jana and Rava into a secret armory where Agris has hidden all like this cool magical things, and which are given to people who have proven themselves like worthy of.
Oh, okay. His dad was a high-powered merchant, not a noble.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Okay.
But yeah, so did you guys decide what you're taking from that? I don't remember.
Yeah, decided on the feather mantle.
Yeah, I'll go with one of those two.
Cool. Uh,
+5 to all saves and +5 to the dodge bonus, which is
Yeah, but it's
really
so
powerful.
boring.
Well, that's your own fault, guys, for not actually having any idea for what could be complementing
What would
to
you have
your
gotten?
character. I mean,
um,
I don't have to because I already have some's already been planned. If it was going to be anything, Foss was going to get Gable, the actual legendary lance used by famous lancer.
Is that within the price range?
You do realize it was any kind of magical weapon item or
There
something.
was a
Up
price
to
range.
20,000.
if it was worth 20,000 gil or less, yes.
So I
Uh,
will repeat my question. Was it in the price range?
I
All he could have been. I don't
I
know.
actually thought
I
the
highly doubt
feather
it.
mantle should have actually been more, but I think I lowered it like so many times. Anyways, about
I mean, if you want us to have a lower level version of it, I'm
no, it's
okay
fine.
with
At this
that.
point, it doesn't fucking matter. I already,
It doesn't fucking matter.
I already can't hit you anyways, Rava, unless I get a 20. So unless I'm gonna give a person or a monster like plus 30 to hit, there's no point.
I can boost him past that.
So actually, out of curiosity, since you've gotten that, what's your AC now? Like 43 or 45 or something like that?
So my AC before any buffs from core would
Aye.
be 36. So after the buffs, it would be 47. Plus, maybe a little higher if we're about to get a level, because
Did you
your
say
caster
from
level is going to go up.
46 to 47?
36 to 47.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Wait,
And
how are you getting like 11?
I
mage
can get
armor
plus
and
6
bark
mage
skin.
armor and plus 5 bark skin.
See, to me, I feel like that those shouldn't stack, but okay.
Why wouldn't they stack? One is natural
Well, so
armor.
the thing is, bark skin is natural armor, and mage armor is regular armor. And all the
But
natural armor I get from Monstrous Shifter is explicitly stated to stack with other forms of natural armor. It's a
Even if it
loot,
wasn't stated to
basic.
stack,
also,
monstrous
I just like to point
shifter gets
out
natural armor, which is not
after
enhancement
seeing
to
this,
natural armor.
Green Mage can be a very terrifying thing.
Not
Yeah.
really. I don't do much except buff people.
I mean, that's terrifying in general. You have a scaling
I mean, you
abilities that
also
allow you to
debuff
scale.
half the shit I throw at you anyways, so...
Yeah, stay the frick away from me and my hand.
Listen, you're just there
Or
and you're
you
attacking them. They're
no.
not gonna not attack back.
Okay, then they can suffer.
What are they
Stop,
just going to ignore you? Just like, nah, he's too dangerous. Gonna go fight these other guys instead.
I mean, yeah, that's a totally reasonable thing to do. Like, if you're in a freaking bar fight and someone's standing in the corner with a gun, are you gonna walk up to them?
I mean, they would have a harder time to hit you if you were standing right next to them.
No, that's not how guns work.
That's exactly how guns work.
That's not how guns work.
That's how
That's
real life
not how
guns.
guns work.
Anyways,
That's fully how guns work. No, it doesn't.
As someone who has spent like a large part of his childhood hunting, that's not how guns work. It's a lot easier to hit things that are closer.
Yeah, isn't it like
regardless of how gun safety is,
uh,
not a half an hour, an hour later, Archibald actually shows up with Lazalia and at the castle. And there's the three of them are technically still having their conversation at this point. So Alma actually takes you to go get your thing as well, Archibald, which I don't remember what you decided to do or not.
a
Also,
giant improvised chair.
also he's muted.
I'm gonna get the leather mantle.
So he's also given the same mantle.
And Core was gonna craft that for me.
Oh no, not what he's crafting for you. What you're getting from Alma from the quest you did for her. Were you getting one of the materials I suggested that you get?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'll get the ability boost.
Alright, what are you putting the ability boost into? Because you have to choose before.
Well, anything?
Technically yes, but once it's that, you can't change it to anything else after that.
He said any materials from common up to rare, and there are several. Some of the materials that are rare.
Yeah.
I'll put
If
it
you're asking him to take a summon materia, I'm not doing that.
Well, it's a rare item. You said rare.
It's got a point.
So
Actually-
I'll put it into strength, I guess.
Do you already have something into strength, or nothing into strength?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm just trying to check your thing.
What happens next level that I was
Hold
so
on.
sick? What was I so excited for when you told me?
Yeah, I wouldn't put it into
Oh.
strength because you already have the wristbands. Would put it into,
Okay.
I put it into dexterity or constitution.
Constitution would be good
Yeah, Constitution. Cause
because that makes your
I,
shrug it off pool better.
cause I don't do any ranged attacks.
Well, I mean, it would give you AC for dexterity. Okay.
I'm surprised you don't just have like a giant improvised chair that is enchanted so you can hit people with it.
I mean, it'd still break.
Yeah, but it would be a magic chair made of steel
I
or
need to look up
something.
It
uh,
would break
magic
slower, but it would still break.
materia.
I know, but it'd be great for its improvised. You know what? Looks over. What's that? Oh, it's just a magical chair that we used to our king used to sit on. I'll take that. Really? Why? No, I'll take it. I will. Okay. So the stories of Archibald have been told.
So-
And that should probably be a level 2 materia.
Yeah, it would be a level 2 at this point because I said 20,000 or less. So that would be
The
independent,
stories of Archibald, the one who smacks people over the head with the king's chair.
uncommon.
Meh.
Uh,
It's very comfortable.
you can't. I don't think I can edit how much the materia needs for experience. Can I? No.
A lot.
If I ever made a game and somebody only used improvised weapon, they're like, "Here you go. This is your item. What is it? It's called the king's chair. It's a magic chair that's super comfortable."
Let's see. What can you? Oh yeah, that's right. We're putting it
That
into
would be
your arm.
weird.
You're putting it into your armor because that's the only thing that would actually help you.
Yeah.
So unless
Well, if Core's building him a mantle, he could put it in the mantle.
well his armor is already +4, so he'd be getting the second. He would be getting the second level from it anyways,
Oh, right.
because that's how materia works.
Yeah.
So you have. We'll put it into there. So with that 4 extra HP, you went up to 69 HP. Nice.
Nice.
One off from me. Congratulations.
Um.
Okay.
So after they've had their long conversation,
Well, wait. He should get 12 HP
I just put,
because he would get 2 per level.
No, he already auto put it in, so it would already auto calculate.
Okay, just
Yeah.
making sure.
He went from like 57 to 69.
Yep, that would be correct then.
Really, Ramza and Agris don't really have anything to ask of you right now after they've had this long conversation, which has taken like hours. Most of the beginning stuff that you heard was like reliving some of the stuff that they did back in the day, and then like they got into what's been happening since Ramza's been gone, about how Orlando's gone, how Agris basically got rid of the entire church, and now that they have this council, and it's like, and she asks him, like, well, you want to be on the council? It'd be a great boon. It's like, and Ramza thinks about it. It's like, maybe not for right now.
Sure, it steals my soul.
Who the hell is moving the thing?
Hmm?
Who's moving the token from on the map? Well, it doesn't matter. Also, if that's you, you're muted. And basically they say, "Yo, you've almost already given your reward." Once again, Ramza and Alma specifically apologized to Archibald a lot because he was like one of your best friends.
Okay. Thanks
So
for
really,
your...
without anything else to do, you can go back to New Home, I guess, and report to Nemo if you want to.
I mean, that sounds like a reasonable course of action to me.
All right. Sieg, we'll get to you in a second here. I gotta do some stuff for them before I get to you. Um, when you return back to New Home, uh, not much has changed since the last time you were here. The researchers are still testing the fountain uh, for its like how like durable and like how well this magic water actually works. So they're just constantly throwing sand into it, waiting for the sand to all disappear, and then throwing more sand into it. And like a third of them are doing that. Another third is trying to find shortcuts to maybe make another one, and maybe give it to like Zalia as like a offering or whatever to maybe quell some hidden things that others in the not in the council specifically, like just like the common people, which I was gonna say sounds weird because technically they're not owned by like a monarchy or anything like that, so calling them common people doesn't make any sense. Um, and then another third of them is trying to basically turn more of the desert into stable land. So like if they want to make like actual like houses around this place, they won't just sink into the desert, which is reasonable if this is gonna be people gonna make like a new town here basically.
Honestly, I think they should focus on making it not so damn hot first.
Agreed.
Is that like an actual thing you vocalize?
I mean, sarcastically, but yeah, might as well.
Okay. Let's see. I might as well just drag you to New Home because fucking why not? Doesn't matter. Everybody's still technically gathered in here, and I just haven't gone back to it, but that's fine. Um, I'll move people back. Yeah. So by the time actually you spend going to Forts, actually no wait, you went to Fort City. I'm trying to do math in my head here. No, it would be getting closer to like 8 or 9 by this point, because you went to Fort City, dropped off Foss's body. Then you head to Lazalia, spent the night there, and then waited for a couple hours to see if there was anything else that you could do for them, and turns out there really wasn't. Uh, so, meh, it's probably more like 3 at this point.
Okay.
I'm just gonna, while I'm talking, I'm just gonna move people around on the thing, put them back in spots where they're supposed to be. So specifically today, before the actual downtime starts, what do you want to do for the rest of the day?
Well, I think I would get started on what I was telling you about in Discord, just setting up like taking my tent or, whatever I have and just setting up like a little stall where, if people need things repaired or something simple made or whatever,
Um,
like I'll give them a hand.
okay. I will mention one thing though. You don't really have like, if you're doing like blacksmithing and stuff like that, there's not really a forge here, so to speak.
Yeah. But
So
I
you're
mean, I have sets of tools and stuff that I can do a lot of basic things. You don't need like a full forge unless you're making like a full suit of armor or something.
all right. Jonna, what are you gonna do?
Now that we're back,
Yeah,
mm,
it's already like halfway through the day.
I'm gonna be real. I don't know. Hang out with him, I guess. See what he's up to.
Okay. Rava, while you're at finishing up setting up your thing for today, uh, Trats actually comes into your thing that you're sending. He's like, so he comes in and is like, "Hey, what you doing?"
I'm just setting up a little setting up a little stall more or less so that if there's anything I can do to like help out with repairing or tinkering or making anything small for folks, they can come over and I'll just help them out with it.
I see, I see. So, I have a question for you.
Absolutely.
Some of my engineers are planning a trip to Goug, and I remember you
Yes.
having some interest in going
Yes.
there.
Yes.
You just cut him off. He says yes. It's like, no, I haven't even. Okay.
Yes.
They'll be going the, not next week, but the week after if you want to go
Oh,
with
I have
them.
to wait that long. I mean,
Since you,
yeah, yes, I would be thrilled to accompany them.
great. Some two of them have been there uh, before on their own, uh, but most of them aren't really the, you know, tough types,
Adventuring
so to
type?
speak. So if you could just go with them, and you're free to do what you want, but just watch after them for me, that'd be helpful.
Absolutely. I would be more than happy to go along and lend a hand.
Great. Actually, out of curiosity, Rava, and I might do something with this, I might not. What what does arms and armor allow you to like fix per se?
Uh, Weapons and armor.
Okay, can it be like magical weapons and armor too, or is it, I forget if it's that or if
Because
it's.
I have the feat that lets me work on magical stuff, so yes.
He says, "All right," and he's like, "Well," he looks around. It's like, "Well, can you actually if you're doing this, I'm kind of busy and not many of the engineers can really help me with my uh, weapons, being how they are. You want to take a look at it and see if you can maybe sharpen it or like fix it up a little bit. It's got a few nicks in it."
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and
Chainsaw hand.
uh he puts one hand behind his back. He pulls out a glowing dagger. Nope, that's the wrong one. And he pulls out a different dagger and he hands it to you.
All right.
Just for
Just
reference sake,
opened up.
just for reference sake, the glowing dagger he pulls out is just like pure white and almost see through.
All right. Just
Uh,
just need it sharpened up or anything
uh,
added to it, or what are you looking for?
when you take a look at his weapon, it is magical. You can tell just by holding it, and it looks like it's seen its fair share of battles.
Nice.
It's
Okay.
been it's been used quite a lot. In fact, it looks like it still has some dried blood on it
Okay.
that maybe he just forgot to clean off or whatever.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, I'll need a little bit of money to buy materials for the repairs and all that, but as long as you supply the materials, I won't charge you anything for it.
Uh, yeah, he says, yeah, just tell the engineers what you'll need to fix it, and they'll send the bill to me, so to speak.
All right, sounds good.
Uh, and he wanders off. So that's what you're going to be doing, not next week or this first week, but the week after. Archibald, what do you do for the rest of the day?
Uh, I, uh, we're at New Home.
You are currently at New Home, yes. I'll turn you up because you're
Okay.
still quiet.
Uh, well, I guess I'll go over into the kitchen area and check if everything's good there.
I mean, you call it
And
the
then,
kitchen area, but it's basically a, a pot and a counter. That's literally it.
okay,
It
well,
it's not much of a kitchen, so to speak, but you've made do before, so
and okay. So, is there anyone in it right now?
currently they're getting ready for like supper basically. And they see you come in and it's like, "Oh, thank God. Can you help us out a bit?"
Okay, I guess.
All right. Jana, who are you going with? Were you going with watching Rava do this or
Mm-hmm.
um okay. Archibald do I think in this situation be craft food specifically because you're not really
Okay,
using your profession to do anything with it. You're just actually making food. Uh
okay.
and Rava, I don't know if you have a skill that would repair how well you repair his weapon or if you just do
Yeah,
it.
it would just be craft weapon. I just looked up the rules for repairing stuff. It's pretty simple, honestly.
All right, well, feel roll me that if you have it in your skill list.
I do, just a second. That succeeds.
What's the check for doing that? By the way, just out of curiosity.
It would be 20.
Is it based on what you need to do, not what like the weapon is?
Yeah, it's based off of the fact that like it's a masterwork weapon. So the repair check is the same as whatever it cost to like craft the base item in the first place, and since magic weapons have to be masterwork first, the craft DC of making a masterwork thing is 20, so it would just be DC 20.
All right,
As far as I can tell off of the crafting page, at least.
all right, that's good enough. As Archibald, I mean, you've made better meals before, we'll say, but I mean, it's not horrible.
He's
Okay,
going for quantity right
You
now, not
you
quality. There's lots of mouths to feed.
Well, I'm thinking
isn't
that,
it
and also
better
he
than?
might be a little depressed still. Maybe I don't know. I don't know how he's grieving.
Yeah,
Why is the food so salty today? It's like someone was crying into it.
yeah. It's,
Um,
And then there's a cake there saying, "Poor Foss."
yeah.
um,
It's still better than what they could have done, I think.
Rava, like
I know.
after you've dried or cleaned off like the blood off of this dagger that he's handed you, and you start repairing it. From what you know about like weapons and like fixing them and making them, this thing is better than what even you could make.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I mean, it's
Which
Trask.
is
He's
which
weird
is
and mysterious.
Well, not as only is he mysterious, but like you don't know who could have made this. Like with what you're limited into because of your backstory and what you told me, because you've only just gotten
Yeah,
back to the villages and stuff, probably a couple years, maybe like one or two.
yeah, yep, exactly.
You've never met anyone who could have made this weapon.
Yeah, but that wouldn't necessarily surprise me because
Mm-hmm.
I assume there's a lot of people I still don't know and a lot of people he does know. So it just gives me someone to look forward to meeting.
Uh, so yeah, you guys have a basic, and the basic, a decent rest of the day and somewhat good food. And I guess we'll just start with the weeks of downtime at one at a time.
Done
Jonah,
with.
I believe probably the first week Archibald will come up to you and ask you to make his thing for him.
Hmm.
How long is that gonna take you to make, just so I know?
How much was it?
Uh,
That's 15,000.
What's the caster level on it?
Oh, I'm opening up the wrong thing. Da.
Not listed.
Uh, Archibald, you're just having him make the leather mantle, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't have enough money otherwise to make any of the other ones. Uh, How would I assume that that works out for making magic things? Because I don't remember.
Caster level 3.
Thank you.
That was a joke. I'm way lowballing it, I'm pretty sure.
Probably. Well, I
Oh,
mean,
yeah,
it's
thanks
only a
for
plus. It's a +2 to dodge and saving throws. I don't know how that. Let me look up.
How much money does Archibald have?
He only has like 7,000 gil.
He could get all the way up to a Dracula mantle with that, because you only have to pay half the price to craft. Unless Core wants some off the top.
It's
That's up.
grieving, man. Give him a break.
That
I'm
that
sorry. Can you? I'm sorry. Can you repeat
Or,
that?
it's up to you
uh,
two.
yeah, do you want him to pay you for the crafting, or are you just
Oh
gonna
no, that's
do it
fine.
at cost? Okay. Then
Okay.
yeah, you should get a Dracula mantle
Yeah. Then
instead of a
Archibald,
leather
you
one.
could just go
You
straight
don't
to a.
want a small tip?
I forget. Were we keeping your money for anything, Archibald, else, or I don't
No.
think it was. If you want, you could just use up all your money and have 55 gil left, but get +4 instead of +2.
Uh, yeah, I'll do that
All right.
instead.
Then if oh god, so what would that be then? Magic item creation.
So the Dracula.
I just want to see how long this would take. Um, blah 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 blah.
What you're trying to make?
The Dracula mantle he wants to be made.
Stay per 1,000 in the cost, or per 2,000 if it's not a very high caster level.
So I'm trying to figure out what the
So
caster
it
level
would
is.
it would take about a week.
Okay. So I'll just assume that it takes you a week to make it then.
Neat.
And it takes me a little bit longer than that to upgrade my hand wraps.
So that's what you're doing. Archibald, what are you doing while Jonna's making this for you for the first week?
Um,
Are you just gonna basically be the cook and the local drunk while you're here?
uh, yeah, I guess I'll still help out in with food.
Okay. Just give me one craft food, and I will tell you to do something else after that. Rava, are you just gonna be have a sign outside your tent says basic repairs here?
Yeah, like I said, like I'll be happy to repair, anyone's tools, equipment, armor, whatever, and make anything simple that they need. Like, even if I just have like a grindstone and such, which I would assume is part of the tools that I have.
All right.
Like I can still make stuff like basic swords and things like that. So make leather armor, that sort of thing. Like I said, I would have a little tip jar up, but I'm not going to mention it. It's just if people want to drop a tip in, they can. And then in my
Uh,
free time, I'm just working on upgrading my own hand
okay. So my
wraps.
question is, are you going to ask people for money for repairs and stuff?
Not anything additional, just however much it
Oh, it would cost to repair it
yeah,
normally.
however yeah,
Okay.
like literally just if they, pay for supplies, that's all I'm
All
asking.
right. Then do me a favor and roll me 2d8,
All right.
and then roll me okay,
Ooh.
and then roll me and roll me let's say 3 craft checks for if you have also like armor and stuff too, do one of those at least
Yep.
as well.
Okay, yeah,
So
I have
let's say weapons, armor,
mechanical
weapons.
weapons and armor. I
Okay.
also have mechanical.
Okay. Actually, roll all three. Okay.
I literally rolled a 2 on craft weapons, god damn it.
Oh man, you're a
But that's enough to fix anything that's not masterwork.
Uh, yeah. Not most of the stuff that you get. So you basically got a total of 15 customers to come and ask you for stuff.
All right.
Uh, most of it was like just little things, like they hit their thing accidentally on like a rock or something, and it just kind of chipped a little bit.
Oh yeah,
or
that's easy
or
enough to
like one
fix.
of the patrolmen like attacked the monster and it came out weird and it just kind of cracked the weapon a little bit. And then
Pretty
one
normal.
of your engineer friends comes in and just like, hey, what's going on? What you doing? And we'll say
Just
that
help to
this
fix
is
it up.
you know what, for interesting things, let's say it's a male Gria, because why not?
Okay.
One of the
I
few
mean,
Gria that
they're
actually are in
uncommon,
camp.
just like male Vieira are uncommon, so sensible enough
It's
to
one of
me.
it's one of the, at least you that you know of, 2 Gria that are in this camp.
Gotcha. Yeah, what can I do for you?
It's like you set up like a tiny shop or something here. That's interesting.
Not a shop, just a service booth mainly. Just figure lots of folks are doing lots of work here, and tools and weapons and armor get damaged as they get used, so might as well help them out and fix some stuff up.
He says, all right. Well, it was, he takes a look around. He sees some of the stuff that you just have lying around that's been fixed or is being fixed still. He says, well, do you have time for like a side project?
Sure. What do you need?
He a while ago, you probably heard a couple Mughals went down to Goug. From what I tell, Tratz says they're gonna be going down there again.
Yep, I will be going with them. Do you need
Uh,
something from me?
Not necessarily. And he pulls out a a small trinket. It's not exactly sure. You're not exactly sure what it is. It's like me and the others have been trying to. Well, me and those who actually are interested in it, trying to get this thing work. But no matter what we try, it's not working. And he, out of character, I'm not sure. Well, yeah, it looks like it's a small pocket watch.
Okay.
And he's like, we thought we could fix it. It looked easy, but no matter what we tried, nothing doing.
You mind if I take a look?
Yeah, sure. He hands it to you.
Yeah. So yeah, just pop. Assuming it wouldn't take me too long to figure out how to pop open the back and be like, lots of small parts. Definitely requires some delicate work.
Uh, while looking at it, oh god, if you have like knowledge for mechanical, I forget there is one like that.
It's
Knowledge.
engineering for
Engineering,
both.
yeah,
I have knowledge
engineering's.
engineering.
Uh,
Craft mechanical is also a skill.
Yeah,
no,
we can roll both.
technology was I was thinking, but in this case, it probably would be
Oh, I
engineering.
do have knowledge technology actually.
Whichever one's better.
I mean, why not roll both?
Uh, so just looking at this thing, it, by all intents and purposes, should work. Like, They look like they replaced all the parts in it, but for some reason it's just not moving.
Hmm.
But
It's
you
not like
notice
a
there's actually,
wind-up watch, is it?
but looking at this thing specifically, you notice that there's actually an indent that for something small that looks like it's missing, but it doesn't look like it's a for a gear or anything.
Hmm. Am I able to figure out like what that thing might be? Like anything that I've seen before that could fit in a space like that or something?
That sounds like an ion stone to me.
It looks like, yeah, it kind of looks like a maybe a tiny crystal or something would go inside of it.
Hmm.
Uh,
Okay.
if Jonna is just actually Jonna would be crafting stuff at this point right now. Uh,
Hmm.
Yeah, but I do know that Jonna knows more about magic than I do, and if there's
yeah.
crystals involved, there's
So
probably
so
magic
whatever this
involved.
thing is, it it does run mechanically, but for it to run properly, it needs something in it, but you're not sure what it is.
Okay, so I think it needs something to supply it with like magical energy or something. I've got a friend who might know. I'm gonna go ask her what she thinks. So I'll go find Jonna and just be like, hey, I've got this thing here. I think I see the problem. It looks like some sort of like crystal magic source needs to fit into it, but I don't really have anything like that. Do you have any ideas?
Roll knowledge arcana there, Jonah.
Sounds like a plan. Just a moment. Boop. Well, okay then.
Yeah, that's good, more than good enough. Yeah, he definitely needs some kind of crystal, but you also assume it has to be some kind of crystal that's attuned to a specific element.
Hmm.
The way that you're, way the when you're way you're looking at this and how this thing is, it's probably needs to be attuned to like lightning, look by the
Hmm.
looks of it.
That's what I was going to assume.
Uh, but finding a crystal that small and not being able to like have it break just in your hands, it's gonna be kind of difficult.
Could we find like a larger crystal and whittle it down?
So now, here's the thing: in a game, I wouldn't know if that would work or not. Maybe because
I don't know either out of game.
magic crystals are weird, and sometimes they work properly and sometimes they don't. I don't know.
All right, kids, time to shove one in there and see what happens. If it blows up, it blows up.
Um,
Yeah, I mean that would be that would be the first thing that I would give a shot.
there's only one
Mhm.
problem.
I
What's
mean, we
that?
don't have lightning crystals.
Yeah, yeah, and you probably don't know where to find any around here either.
I would go ask. I mean, Nemo's all magicy, and he has magicy people working for him, and he's been here longer than either of us. So I'll see if he happens to know of anything like that.
Um, when you go talk to Nemo, he's currently basically deep in paperwork right now,
Do
and
you have a minute, sir?
he says, "If you don't mind me, if I can just keep writing stuff, what you need."
I'm attempting to fix a trinket for some of the others in the camp, and my colleague has determined that we need probably some small pieces of lightning attuned crystals, and we're not sure where to get any. We're hoping maybe you or one of your subordinates would know.
Um, when you mention this, uh, you hear a voice that's like, "You need a tiny crystal," and when you turn around, you actually see Rocco standing behind you.
Yes, one attuned with lightning, if you have it. Or if you have a way to attune it to lightning. I don't use magic. I'm not entirely certain how that works.
Well, you remember those crystals that were in the tower?
Oh yeah, did you bring some back?
I did, and I actually found it takes a long time, probably like a couple weeks. I can, with the help of a few other mages, I can actually replicate the crystals.
Oh, well, that's extremely convenient.
Uh,
Let's do it.
the the only thing is that they are unattuned to anything.
All right. How would we then attune it to something? Do you just zap it with lightning magic? Does that
Uh,
work?
you would need another crystal of at least the same or bigger size than what you have, and force the crystal to take on that crystal's element.
All
Mm,
right. Do we have a bigger one with that element?
I
Uh,
don't think we'd be having this problem
no.
if we
The
had
only
more
reason
crystals.
remember the orb, right? That
Yeah.
was actually created from the crystals at the tower, and we use the one
Ah,
that's in the bottom of the well as to basically give it the element to constantly give out water.
gotcha.
So
Well, they said they found the trinket in Goug, and I'm heading to Goug next week with some researchers. So I'll poke around there and see if maybe I can't find some,
all right.
maybe maybe there are some other similar devices that have crystals still left in them
He
that'll
says,
do
"Yeah,
the
sure.
job.
Can I see that thing for a second? I need to see how big I need to make the crystal."
Yeah, I'll hand it over to him.
He takes a look at it, and he says, "Like, just a second." And he pulls out a couple like smaller crystals from like a tiny bag, basically, and just starts to see if he can find one that just like fits in the hole. Um, Eventually, he does find one. I was like, "All right, I have one," but like I said, you're gonna have to find something that attunes to it. If to do it though, you'll need probably someone who knows magic well to, you know.
Hi.
Also, don't you know magic well?
I'm kind of busy right now trying to
Hmm.
re-replicate another one of those orbs.
And exploring himself.
It's gonna take us another month to do it again, at least.
Well, fair enough. I do have a friend who is versed in magic, so I'll ask her.
All right, and he hands you back the watch-looking thing.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll just go back to the Gria and explain all this to him and just tell him like, hey, I'll look for something while I'm in Gaug and otherwise if you have any big ideas
He,
for where we could get one,
I
go
mean,
for
he
it.
says like, well, I mean, you're kind of going above beyond. He just like kind of looks around. He pulls out some money. He's like, here, if you can get it done, I'll give you some more. And he gives you like, I don't know, 500 gil.
Well, thank you. That's not necessary, but it's greatly appreciated. I will I will put it to good use in helping others.
Yeah. Anyways, so John is making that. Okay, so Rava, for your other things that you did, roll me. Hmm. Let's say. Whew, let's say 4D 100s. All right. At the end of the day, at the end of the week, after you have done repairing things, you have a total of 197 gil in your tip jar. And Archibald, since you have been helping out a lot in the kitchen with the other cooks, uh, you're actually given uh, let's say 700 gil for the week.
Okay.
Just because you've been helping them out a lot and they haven't really paid you anything.
Okay.
All right, and now begins the second week. But before anyone goes and do anything, where I'm guessing Rava goes and Jana go to Gaug, and Archibald does whatever he's deciding to do.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, uh, Actually, here's a good question for the three of you.
Mm-hmm.
What time are you guys up in the morning? Because Rava, they didn't really specify what time they were going to leave for Gaug.
I mean, I presumably would have asked if they had a particular time in mind.
They said anywhere. They said from afternoon, like after 12, to like 2.
Okay. In that case, I'm would assume I usually get up like 9-ish. So
Okay.
if they're not leaving until the afternoon, that still gives me plenty of time.
All right,
Mm-hmm.
Archibald, what are you gonna do? Or what time are you getting up at, rather?
I'm getting up at 11.
At what? Sorry, at
11.
11. Okay, and Jana.
Mm, I sleep pretty late.
All right. Well, you don't really get the chance to sleep pretty late there, Jana, uh, because about the time that Archibald, you're probably waking up, uh, you hear a loud. Actually, all of you hear a loud commotion outside. Like there's hundreds of not hundreds of thousands, just hundreds of people outside.
Well, that's concerning out of nowhere. I'm going to make sure that I put my hand wraps on before I leave my tent.
All right. Uh, and come on. I'm
Sure
actually gonna
thing.
go to your character, your actual come on. Um, you're up rather early, getting all the patrols and stuff to go out for the day. So
Okay.
like around 10, actually no, yeah, around 11. Sorry, you're up on I guess the surface because technically the thieves thing is underground. Um, giving out orders to people. When over the horizon, you just see a bunch of carts uh, with at least 2 chocobos in front of each of them.
Okay.
Um, and you actually know, come on specifically, you actually know because uh, the week before last, like before the downtime started, actually got a letter from your father saying that he was returning back to New Home after being gone for
Oh
about
yeah.
like a month at this point. Actually, for about like 3 weeks, I guess at this point. And but you weren't expecting just so many like caravans and stuff, and they're just coming in, and they're none of them are nothing bad happens because they're all from the villages, but they're carrying a bunch of like supplies, like basic supplies, like wood and like carved stone and more food supplies. And there's like maybe like 15 carts, each with a different set of supplies in them. And one of the carts continues moving on, but Herrig actually jumps off in front of you and is like, "So, have you been doing well while I've been away, son?"
Yeah. I've been keeping okay. I seem to have this skill, like nothing burns down. So
Well, that's good. You can tell me about what's been going on here recently. Uh, but only it's like for now. I'm assuming you're about to send out patrols, correct? By the looks of it.
yeah, yeah.
Um, only send out the minimum number of them. We're gonna need all hands on deck to get all these supplies unloaded.
Um. Okay.
So yeah, when Rava and Jonna, if you just like probably try and go back to sleep, I assume, just after you hear this loud
Hmm.
noises, or do you actually get up?
She gets up to investigate briefly, but like, it seems fine.
Yeah, so Archibald and Rava, you come out and you just see a bunch of carts being brought into New Home, uh, knowing at this point that there's nothing bad gonna happen because you know the people attacking you are normally just humans, but there's like different races everywhere. So you
Mhm.
assume that's not the enemy, so to speak.
Okay. I
And
mean,
then
yeah.
a
Okay,
crowd
this
starts
sounds like
gathering
fun.
around all this, and then Herrick actually steps up to the fountain, and Nemo actually comes out of his uh, tent and he says, uh, with like a bag, look like he's ready to go, about to leave to go somewhere. He's like, comes up to Herrick and is like, I didn't expect you to be here so soon. Everything go good? And he's like, well, we got as much as we can. Um, and he yells out to everyone. He's like, all right, everybody, listen up. We need all these supplies off these carts as fast as possible. Talk to at least one of the people on the cart, and they'll tell you where it needs to go and where and how much. And basically, everybody just starts splitting off, going to, and just starts basically picking up everything. Archibald, you're technically not part of this, so you don't actually have to. Rava and Jonna, you're free to do what you want. I assume Jonna's already back asleep.
Sure.
So yeah, Rava, what do you do when Herrig shouts this out?
Oh, I mean, sorry. What did he shout? I missed that.
He basically wants everybody to go spread out, go to a cart, and basically unload and put them materials
Oh
in.
yeah, that's easy.
hmm Some of the mages are going around to like the more stronger people and giving them like carrying capacity buffs to make the job a little easier. And it goes on for probably about 2 hours, so now it's about like 1 o'clock. Archibald, you're free to go back to the kitchen and cook more if you want, or drink whatever you want.
So, yeah, I'll just wait in the kitchen with. I'll open myself a bottle of beer and just
Mhm.
say hi to the people as they're carrying it stuff,
All right,
I guess.
Rava and Jana, I don't actually remember, but remind me, have your characters actually met Herrig? I don't think they have, eh?
Mm,
Nope.
yeah, I don't
No,
think
we
we.
showed up after he'd already left.
Right, okay. Uh, so, yeah, it's about 2 hours. Rava, after, like, most of it's done and everything start to die down, uh, one, a Moogle comes, an engineer Moogle comes up to you and is like, hey, most things are starting to die down and been given the go by Nemo to head out now if you're coming with us or not.
Yes, let us go right now.
Sure.
All right. Is Jonna actually up by one, or is she still asleep?
It's 1 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm up by then.
All right. Archibald, you see, if you're just out, just observing, you see one of the caravans actually or one of the carts be taken by a bunch of what you assume to be nerdy people, for lack of a better word.
Nerds.
And
Okay.
Jonna, and specifically though, that you notice Jonna and Rava actually get on this cart.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
So you can do one of two things, and you don't have to do it, or if you don't want to, you can either stay in New Home or you could go with them. Nothing about what happens at month downtime will change depending on where if you guys are separated or not.
Uh, well, can I go ask what they're going, what they're going to do?
If you want.
Yeah, I'm going to ask what they're doing to decide if I want to go with them or.
All right. How much have you had to drink in like the 2 hours it's taken for them to unload all this stuff?
Um, in 2 hours, I've had one beer.
Wow, that's okay.
It's a light day.
Yeah.
He's sad, man. He's drinking slowly.
Yeah,
Uh,
there's
yeah.
stuff
So
happening.
yeah, he comes up to ask you guys that, which yep.
John is like, I don't know, you acting like, can you say no to those ears?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to come along, by all means.
Well, okay, yeah, I'll go with you guys.
Yeah, we'll be happy to have you.
Better than sticking around here where there's no challenges, because I know everything about food.
Oh no, he has a bloodlust now. He's sad. Now he's gone into the bloodlust mode. What's next?
He's
Uh,
in the
okay.
anger phase.
So
phase.
you guys are all in one cart, but actually with you, at least a total of including yours, there's actually three carts going with you. Like they're going there on a purpose to get as much as they can.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm down with that. Also, I have an important question for you.
Yes.
So, the engineer has a salvage ability
Mm-hmm.
that allows them to spend time and make skill checks to try and salvage mechanical and electrical parts out of, any destroyed technological stuff.
Uh-huh.
And it results in a whole bunch of gil. Do you want me to just not use that?
Well, can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
You probably won't really get much time to spend said gil.
I mean, we've still got a couple more weeks I could use to craft some more
Yes.
stuff, but
So
that's
so
fair.
about that, they're thinking of staying there for at least a week.
Yeah, that's fine.
Uh, that being said, by the time you get there, and well, actually, you know what? We'll see what happens. Because there's just so many of you, and you're in like a group, no monsters or anything decides to attack you because why would they?
Yeah.
I didn't think they were that smart.
Yeah.
It's news to me.
I mean, like you get like the odd like bomb or something like that, but like really, it's murdered before it can even do anything.
Good old chaotic evil bombs.
So how many of us?
Bombs being a fucking bomber.
Including you three, Archibald, there's probably like 15 other people.
Oh, okay, so I'm the extra guy.
Basically, yeah, you just kind of tagged on because you're like, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, they all have a purpose.
Uh,
I'm,
so let's see. I need to check.
I no longer have a purpose because Foz is gone.
Don't worry, I'm getting to you here in a second.
You deserve it, god damn it.
I need a new friend.
I need a new friend.
9.
Wow, we're not sufficient.
Ouch, my feelings.
No, I have you too.
We're just giving you a hard time.
No,
Man.
guys, I love you guys. You're all cool and everything. It's just You just don't drink. I need someone just to chug a beer with.
What are you talking
All right.
about? Freaking
So,
Jana drinks.
Yeah.
they they're told they tell you, Rava, that they actually plan to leave maybe a little bit earlier, like maybe after they had like lunch in them or whatever. And kind of Harry kind of just blew that out of the water for them. So what their plan is now is that they're gonna head to Fort City, uh, rest up there for for the night, and then head to Goug. Uh,
Okay.
Also, they want to ask you to, since they know that you guys have been here before, if they could maybe ask the dragoons there to see if maybe the path is clear, because they heard something about them going through eradicating undead or something like that, and we were told not to go down the path until it was clear.
Right.
So they want to check on how that's doing. It's been a while, and they figured it would be good by now.
Yeah. I mean, let's ask.
Yeah, and that point, so it's basically almost midnight at this point,
Oh wow.
because it would take you 9 hours to travel from New Home to Fort City.
Right.
It would take double that if you were just walking. But yeah, it's about midnight. You don't have to pay for any like accommodations or anything. They expect to gain more money than they'll need for later dates. So basically, the two Mughals are basically spending Tratz's money to fund this expedition,
Sure.
and yeah, you are arrested for the night, and the next morning, Rava, there's actually knocks at your door at like 8:30.
Okay. That's fine. I'll answer.
And yeah, we had a hey, it's one of the Jerusalem who's been here before, and he's like, hey, so we talked with some of the guards that were around here, uh, the dragoons more specifically, because that's what the guards here are. Um, they said they could set us up a quick meeting with John, but apparently she was about to head off to Lazalia, so we gotta be quick here.
I mean, did they tell us if the road is clear? Because if the road's clear, that's all we need to know, right?
They're only the guards. The ones that they talk to are only really meant to guard Fort City. They haven't been assigned to go check on the roads or anything.
Ow, fucking lazy.
All right. I mean, yeah. If we need to know whether the roads are clear, then let's find someone who can tell us. So, do whatever.
All right. Yeah. So you head off to the Fort City keep basically, and as you're basically getting there, John is actually getting ready to leave on her chocobo with her lieutenant, leaving her lieutenant in charge, basically. Uh, and it's like, oh, Rava, hi. I don't listen. I don't have much time to talk. I gotta get to a meeting.
Is the road clear to Gao? That's all we need to know.
Mostly, there. It's not as bad as it was before, but
Good
we had
enough.
we had a bunch of holy knights and white mages and dragoons clearing out the way there. We didn't want anyone getting in the crossfire, but right now we're just picking off any undead stragglers we find. Right now, all you'll probably find is your basic monsters just roaming the swamp, which won't cause any more problems, hopefully.
Okay. Cool. That's all we needed to know. Thank you.
And she nods and basically heads off on her own and says, he looks to you, Rava, as like, the lieutenant looks to you, Rava, as like, do you need someone to take you there? Or are you good?
No, I think I think we're good. We have people who've been there before, so
All right. It you guys came in with a bunch of carts, right?
yeah.
All right. We've made a path from uh from here to Goug. In fact, we had to make a small bridge to cross the island separation. Well, if we already had one, but let's just say it was pretty beat up. Um, just follow the path outside of Fort City towards Goug. I wouldn't recommend going off the path. It's not going to be good for your carts. You'll get stuck real easy.
Okay.
So basically, it might take a little bit longer to reach there because you're not going a straight path there. Uh, but it shouldn't like take like it maybe at most an extra hour for you to get there by the sounds of it.
Oh yeah, that's nothing.
Uh, so yeah, you are all woken up or attempted to waken up in some people's cases. I'm not gonna point names because I don't know what I'm talking about myself. Uh, and you guys head off, and I'm just gonna leave you guys there. Uh, Meanwhile, at another place, at another time, Sieg, um, after you participated in that giant thing with the Holy Knights with because Agris requested your guys' help in doing that. You and your father's basically your entire company set out to help with that out, and you've been back at your place of business, so to speak, for probably a couple days, maybe like 3 or 4, and everybody's just kind of settled down. You did while you're out there lose some kind of the newer people who got too big for their britches and got themselves killed.
Oh God, show offs. Of course.
Um, and uh, I'd like you to roll me uh, 2d100. Actually, hold on. Let me actually make sure I'm having you roll the right thing here first.
He's rolling it.
No, sorry. Have me roll me 3d100.
Jesus fuck. Okay. Not two highs, one low.
All right. So one day, your dad, your father, actually calls you in. Uh,
Wait. Let me guess. 168 people just died because of his rolling.
no, as I'm not gonna make him go through that again. Cause remember, this is not Lux. This is Sieg.
Yes, and
I just had to make the joke.
Uh huh. Um. Uh. And he actually calls you in, but he actually doesn't call you into like his like office or room. Then he doesn't call you into there. He calls you into like uh this, I guess what you would call this in quotes ceremony room where all like the new recruits are initiated.
Mhm.
And when you enter into the room, um, your dad is sitting or standing rather in on like a raised platform, and this room is like circular.
Who he thinks he's gone now, pretentious prick. I'm just kidding.
This room is circular, and all around the outsides are like your dad's like not only his most trusted but like the strongest of those in your company right now.
Okay.
And he's like stand. He's like he beckons you to come in, and he says stand in the center of the room.
All right. I don't know why we have to do this. But I don't know why you have to be so, you know,
Wow. He's been
ceremonial.
in the game for 2 minutes and he's already getting ritually sacrificed. Bummer.
All right. Yeah, I'll just step up.
Yeah. You're gonna be sacrificed to summon
Anima,
Lukami.
Anima,
Good
my
job.
heart.
No.
That's full of bullshit.
You come in and stand in the center of the room, and your dad, steps down from the platform and pulls something out, or he snaps his fingers, and like one of like his attendants in quotes, because I don't fucking know what else it would be called. One of the grunts, I guess, comes in and hands him uh, something that's covered in like a burlap bag or like a cloak or something. Uh, Sieg, you've been here for quite a while now, and I had very many times where I thought I shouldn't do this, but during your time out in helping with Agris and her undead problem, you not only saved several people, but you also slayed countless undead, more than even some of your betters.
Uh, pops. Okay, look, I understand. Like, I did what I did because it's my job. Don't need to get all ceremonially mushy.
he, uh, you hear the guys around the circle just start muttering, and he just like takes one hand off of this thing and just waves them off, and they all just shut up. Um, well, I guess you weren't never one for one of these things. That your attitude's a little much desired, but your skills are bar none, and that's why I'm giving you this. And he takes off uh, the cloak, and there is a rather ornate, I guess, weapon underneath it.
Hmm?
And out of curiosity, because I don't know you've changed it. What's Sieg's actual classes?
Dark swordsman and fighter. Dark
Okay,
swordsman and
I've
fighter.
can Dark Swordsman detect magic in any way?
No, they
No.
cannot.
Okay. In that case, actually, you know what? Do you have history?
No, because the two classes guy don't really get fucking many in terms of
All
those kind of
right.
abilities. I don't think, unless I
Well,
decide to go.
roll it anyways, and let's see if you know what this sword is.
All
It's
right.
the Excalibur.
It's not an
No,
Excalibur.
I ain't getting shit. I mean, I got religion. Is it like, could it be religious based?
Uh, in this situation, it's probably not. No, I'm sorry. Um,
You
he looks at you. Is like, well, regardless, as you know, when one of us raises up to a higher rank, they often get a some kind of thing that makes them stand out from the others. And I'm gonna give this to you. And he hands out the sword to you.
I'll take and I go.
The moment you
What
put
sword
your
is this?
hand on it, you
Okay.
feel a immense power just rush up your arm.
Your arms are blown off. No.
My hair just stands on him. Like,
Never go full Genos. You gotta keep your arms on,
All right.
man.
I'm not gonna have
oh
him
man.
explain what it is because I'm just gonna explain it to you. So, Sieg, the weapon I'm giving you is called Save the Queen.
Ah.
What an
All
awful
right.
name for a weapon.
You
Um,
I
shut
think,
me mouth. Save the Queen is one of my favorite Final Fantasy swords.
yeah, it's actually considered like the second best.
It's just
Uh,
not a name.
Now, I don't
That's my
know
only
if
fault.
there
I don't
is
mind it
one. I
being what it
don't think
is.
there is. Is there one in FF?
Tactics? Yes.
I know there
I
is one.
read
No,
up
I know
on.
there is one in Tactics because that's what I've based it off of. I don't think there is one in FFD20 though, is there? Not that
I
I'm.
No.
don't believe so, no.
All right.
No,
So,
they
so
haven't
the
really worked
reason
on
I
those.
had you roll the 3D100 is for every roll you got above 50 made this sword actually start off stronger.
So, yeah, 2 out of 3 rolls. Nice.
So
2 out of 3 rolls. Yeah, that is
Or did
pretty
you just
good.
have him flip a coin?
I'm going to paste this into here, and then I will give it so screw it. I'll make it so that everybody can see it.
So you were like, wait, what? You're giving me this weapon? What the hell?
I'll just rename it real quick.
Yes, abilities 1 and 2 are useless without ability 3, though. Sorry. No.
So that is what you're given.
Mm-hmm.
He says, uh, now that you're at a higher rank than some of the others, you'll be given a few more dangerous jobs if you think you're up for them.
I mean, okay. Don't know why you give me this. Isn't it supposed to be like some kind of relic?
All, all, all of the higher ups have at least some stronger weapon or armor that makes
FYI,
them.
FYI, character-wise, it starts as +2, right?
It starts off as +3.
Oh, okay. So I got lucky then, I guess.
It has an ability at plus if you make it a +4 weapon, but that's up to you if you want to find someone who can do that.
I mean, we have a person that can do it.
Hi, what?
Except you don't.
Will we have enough time for it? Is the question.
Probably because when you're upgrading stuff, you take the difference out from actual creation of the weapon. So, theoretically, since it's already +3, and if I'm paying for the uh, +4 version, I just take the difference out and cut that in half, and that's how much time it's going to take to
All right,
upgrade.
actually, here I'll put this on stream so people can actually see it. That's what it currently does. So yeah, that's what you do. And he actually says, actually, we do have a job for you right now if you want to do it. It's something Agris actually once again asked us for, but she only needs one person to do it.
Yeah, what is it?
She said,
Burn new home to the ground.
You
uh,
must destroy this family of children.
you'll have to. Didn't want to be specific. Something about like the uh, Hume cult that's been going around, and she wanted to keep it
Oh
quiet.
yeah, those bloody purists.
She wants to talk to whoever we send in person.
I guess I could do it.
All right. And you're free to head off whenever you want to do that.
Yeah. Sig will get himself like a large cloak to cover his whole body up. Because it's gonna be hot out, so might as well. And make it nice like light brown.
All right.
All that heat ain't gonna get him.
Uh, anyways, back to the other three. While he's putting that into his character sheet. You guys arrive at Goug. Let's see. Leaving at probably they want to leave early, so at 9. So it's probably about 9 p.m. by the time you guys reach Goug. And when you come into Goug and basically set up at the inn again, the two Moogles who have been here before actually head out of the inn to go talk to someone. Because they don't want a repeat of what happened the last time that they were here.
I'm going to make sure they all get inside the inn safely, and then pretty much as soon as they're all inside, I'm just gonna wander over and start looking at scrap piles.
Alright. Around the actual... In the city itself, it actually looks like it's been well picked over the years. Uh, I don't know. If you have a thing to look through scrap, do so.
I mean, I'm not worried about using the salvage ability for like money or anything. I just, yeah, I mean, just wanna look around. I
Alright.
guess specifically, I would be trying to find some like you know, I mean, I'll just call them what they are. Looking for some batteries for that dude.
Some batteries?
Yeah, for the watch.
I mean, you already know how the watch needs to be powered. You need to find something.
Right. So I'm looking for anything here that might have little lightning crystals left in them, or something
Uh,
sufficiently similar. That's just, I mean, that would just be Rava's assumption, since he said, "Well, we found it in Goug, so like maybe there's others here that have it." I'm not saying that out of game I necessarily expect there to be any, but
roll a
that's
d100.
what Rava's looking for.
Roll a d100. Uh,
Hey, that's the ultimate answer.
uh, um, you search through various things, and it's like late at night at this point. It's like dark out, so some of the stuff you find is like, oh, that might have something in it, and it doesn't have anything in it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Um,
I probably wouldn't stay up past like midnight. I would by like midnight I'd head back to the inn.
all right, about 11 o'clock while you're searching through stuff. Um, you hear. Actually, make a perception check to see if you actually do hear it.
Okay.
Uh, let's see how stealthy this person is. Ooh, I need to see what his stealth is actually. Hold on, give me a second. Do 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 do. Nope, that's the wrong one. I want this one. Actually, he probably not even. What level? Oh, he is. Okay, perfect. Nah, yeah. You hear him sneaking up on you, and he kind of like accidentally, doesn't look like he did it on purpose, like kicks a rock and it hits a bunch of scrap.
If
Um,
you're looking to ambush me, be warned you're biting off more than you can likely chew.
and
I'm just gonna say that without turning around.
he responds, hmm. He says, "Well, I'll give you the benefit of doubt. You're not actually from here, but there is a curfew for all people at this time, especially with all the
Oh,
thugs running around. And you actually recognize the voice, Rava.
okay. Then I'll stand up, sort of brush my hands off, and turn around.
It is a. I was gonna say young man, but he's technically not young anymore. It is a man with a gun in hand and a blonde and with blonde hair and blue pants.
Oh, you're the one who was friends with the gentleman we rescued, are you not?
Correct, and I thank you for bringing my friend back. But as I've said, because of the thugs around here, there's kind of a curfew going on.
No, that's fine. I'll return to my inn summarily. I was not aware that such a thing was in place, and I have no intention of causing you any difficulties.
Well, it is to block. He puts his gun away and he says, "Well, it is to for the thugs specifically. However, uh, before Agris had decided to get rid of all the monsters out between here and Fort City, they seem to wander into the scrap piles sometimes during the
Hmm,
night."
gotcha. Hey, so does that mean you're like around here frequently? You know the place pretty well?
Uh, this is my backyard, so yes. and
Have you ever
and what he means by that specifically, he tells you is that since 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 Agris and him and a bunch of others got rid of the church, he basically became the quote mayor of the city.
hmm,
Uh,
well,
his dad
fantastic.
originally was the mayor after the church had gone, but he's basically become the new one at this point.
Well, that's extremely convenient for what I need then. Listen, an associate of mine found a trinket here some time ago that he hasn't been able to get working, and we've determined it needs some sort of like lightning aspected crystal to power it. Do you happen to know where I could find such a thing? Because right now I'm just digging blindly, but if there's a scrap pile that's more likely to have them, I would love to know about it.
He thinks for a second. And he's like, yes, actually, I do.
Ah, wonderful.
Uh,
Well, I understand that there's a curfew out right now, so would it be possible to follow up on that tomorrow or something where I wouldn't be behaving unlawfully?
uh, sure. I'm gonna be busy for most of the day. He points out you out to a house where he basically lives. He
Okay.
says, we don't really have anyone magically inclined to do what I am assuming you're planning on doing.
I mean, I was just hoping to find a crystal that's already aspected that way.
Well,
I
it
figured
is.
if one machine required it, then maybe there were others that did, and
Well,
perhaps some of them haven't been picked clean yet.
it is, but it's also currently being used right now, so I don't know how well it'll work.
Ah, gotcha.
Hmm.
He points you out to like come to my house about you're gonna your Moogle friends told me you're gonna be here for about a week, so whenever you're good, come about I don't know 6, 7
AM or PM?
p.m.
All right, I can do that.
If you have someone who's can if you've explained how you're doing this, need to do this to him. He's like, you're gonna need to bring someone magically inclined. There's not really too many people like that in Machine City.
One of my friends accompanied me, and she's familiar with magic, so I'll ask her to tag along.
He says, "All right, now if you would please return back to the inn. I know you can handle yourself after all the things you've done, but that'd just be setting a bad thing for others who think they could just do whatever they want."
Nope, totally understood. Thank you for the warning, sir, and I will see you on the morrow.
Hmm
Hmm.
For reference sake,
I'm
curfew is
still
about 10.
Okay.
So yeah, the next day, uh, what is Jonna and Archibald gonna do while I assume Rava's out with the engineers looking for scrap? Uh, Rava specifically, they're looking for anything that's made of iron.
Okay. Yeah, I can help them look for that.
Do you want to go for a drink?
yeah.
You two are just
Oh,
gonna drink all day?
we're in
I
for
don't know if it's all day.
yeah. We'll find the quickest drinking establishment.
I mean, the inn is also a bar, so
Okay,
I mean, yeah,
we'll
all right.
go to the we'll go to the in the bar at the
Um,
L bar.
Rava, roll me 3D 100.
All right.
Actually, not D 100. D D D10 D10.
16.
All right. The first day, you and the engineers find some things that are worth taking it back. They have the three carts set off to things that can be fixed, things that can be salvaged, and basically things that can just if they can get a forge or something set up, things that could just be melted down and recreated.
Gotcha.
So, uh, things that you find more scrap, if anything. So basically, the cart for scrap is getting filled up faster than basically the other ones. Um, Salvaged is probably like the second most, but um, for things that could be repaired, you only find a one thing, and that's it. And
Okay.
it it's like this. How I want to describe this? Actually, yeah, you know what? Screw it. Couple of like a Seek and a Hume come back with a grandfather clock,
Hmm.
Okay.
And
and
out of curiosity, how widespread would like clocks be? Like, would I know offhand, oh, that's a clock, or would I just think like, oh, that's similar to the little thing the other guy had?
for you for you and the others specifically, probably not as much. Um, you've seen like an odd like few clocks, but they're like either really like a pocket watch or like a a wall hanging clock that's just not really to write home about. This is the first time you've ever seen something like this.
Gotcha.
Uh, they
Yeah,
found
I
that
would.
if they could just replace some of the gears and stuff in it, it could be fixed.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's throw it in. I'm already working on repairing another smaller one as well.
Uh,
So let's
unlike
do it.
unlike unlike this one's just powered by gears and whatever. It's not powered by any sort of magic or anything. It is a
Oh, well, that's much more convenient.
but it is super heavy that it at least takes two people to try and carry it,
Fair
as
enough.
as those things are. All
Yeah, the
right, and
grandfather
it
clock is
reaches
pretty
about the
massive.
time that you want to go talk to Mustadio. How much have you two drank during this time?
Like 3 drinks.
Ah, Jesus, so hot.
So yeah,
Don't
Yeah.
flatter yourself.
I assume Rava, you go get Jonna, and because you're gonna need her
I'm,
to do this
I'm
thing.
gonna do 4 drinks because that's even number.
I like it.
Since you
Also, if you guys multiply the number of drinks you had together, you get my favorite number.
great. Um,
You know what? I'm allowed to be happy about these things.
that's fine. I don't care. Uh, you know what, Archibald? Since you said you're gonna do one more drink than her, because I'm gonna just do this cause. Roll me a constant or a fortitude save.
Okay.
Uh, Otherwise, while that's happening, you come up to Mustadio's home, and it's actually relatively big compared to the rest of the houses that are in Gaug. I mean, the houses in Gaug are a good enough size, but this seems rather unorthodox for someone who, even if someone's just a mayor, this just seems like too much. It's probably this house specifically is probably had it's in length. It's probably like 3 times as much as the houses in Gaug normally, but that is only because in part of the house has this giant circular dome at the top of it.
Hmm. Wonder if it's for like viewing the stars or something, perhaps.
Um, and when you knock at the door, it takes a few seconds. Uh, but a child actually comes and opens the door, and she's like, "Hello, can I help
Hello.
you?" Weird bunny
Uh,
thing.
yes, I'm here to see the blonde man with the firearm. The mayor? I believe he said he's the mayor of town.
Uh, oh, he says, "All right, come in." And for reference sakes, this girl she's blonde for starters. And let's see. Do. I just need to look up something real quick to make sure I'm doing this correctly. I just want to make sure. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Actually, I think both their. Actually no. Yeah, her hair is blonde, and her eyes specifically are brown. And by
Yeah.
what I'm trying to get at is, out of character, this is basically Mustadio's and Agris's child.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Because that was a thing in Tactics, apparently. Uh,
Uh, Agrius clearly had the hots for the princess.
Whatever.
I
and
mean, if you played the games, it's not entirely wrong.
it's not entirely wrong, but the princess is also technically dead. So,
Well, I mean, you know.
anyways, about 10 minutes later, out of you're in like a foyer, and Mustadio comes out of one of the side areas and is like, it's Rava, it's you. My daughter didn't really couldn't really explain who you were too well. She said there's
Oh, that's your child.
yeah,
Gotcha.
she said there was a, per- a person with bunny ears on their head, so I just kind of put two and two together.
Yeah, I mean, that is an accurate descriptor of me.
Anyway, the thing that you want is this way. He actually goes off to the across the foyer to another area.
Yeah, well, I will follow him.
Archibald, you were able to not be drunk, so you're good.
Okay.
Um, and you walk down this hallway, and you eventually get to a set of large double doors, and it's like he's currently charging right now, but we should be able to use this crystal for what you want. And he opens up the doors to what looks like to you. Well, you know for sure, Rava. This definitely looks like some kind of engineer's workshop, and it's relatively big, but not for the reason that Rava thinks. It's big because there's a giant golem-like thing in this room that's twice the size of you, and he walks up to this golem and taps on it and is like, "Hey, buddy, they're here. I need you to open up your core." Um, he's uh he the golem itself starts talking, which out of the three of you, what are your uh languages that you know?
Ooh, let me check.
Just common.
I speak quite a few, so I'll let the other go first.
Common, Vieren, Numish, Bonganese, Goblin, Moogle, Draconic.
And just common.
Okay.
Common, Bungan, Vieren, Draconic, Seek, Numish, Moogle, Sylvan, Aquan, Terran, Orin, and Ignin.
Or a what? Sorry.
Huh?
What was the last one?
Ignin?
Ignin, like
That
fire.
that's yeah, that's like fire elementals and things like that. you actually, none of you actually know what he's speaking.
Cool.
Uh, he says,
What if I have proficiency in binary?
it's not computer language. He's not saying 0101010101.
Ah, yes, 0 1 0 1 0
What
1.
about Morse? Is it Morse code?
No, it's not Morse code. Um, actually, Rava, your character is had you selected a deity for your character for whatever reason, right?
Yep.
It was Titan, right?
Yep.
You actually are the only one who knows what this language is, but you've heard about it and heard some words speak it, but you don't actually know it just yet. Uh,
Oh, sure.
but it is the language. It's instead of it being, it's basically the Earth language. So instead of Ignis, it's just
Terran?
yeah.
The language that I already have on my list?
Oh, did you say Terran? Is that what that word
Yes.
is? Okay, then
Yes.
yes, you do understand it then.
Dummy.
You said so many things and I don't know why, but you're really quiet for me. And I
Yeah.
have
Oh.
you at like 120%.
Excuses.
I don't know what to tell you, man.
Or yeah. Anyways, okay, then yeah. Rava would know what he's speaking, but you don't know what he's saying, and Jana, you know what he's saying. He says like it's like, but I'm still charging, man. Come on. Is this really the time for this right now? And Mustadio just
Don't respond.
repeat.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
He says it's like you were supposed to have started charging yourself hours ago. You should have been done by now. He says, but he's like he starts like just going back and forth between each other, arguing with each other, and eventually the robot just like fine, 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 and then he seems to power down for a second, and his front chest opens up, and inside the golem is a purple crystal. And it says, well,
So, is this machine intelligent then? It seemed as though you were speaking to it.
oh,
Whatever it is, it's
he's
annoying.
quite intelligent, and
Did you make him or find him or how
my
did this is most curious?
a long time ago, actually, me and Ramza actually found it, and my dad actually helped put him back together and
Hmm.
restart him.
And does he have enough charge to do the thing? Or,
He should, and if he doesn't, well, then you're gonna have to wait a little bit. But I could try it out anyways.
yeah, sure.
All right.
Okay.
I need you to roll me an Arcana check there, Jonna.
Sure,
Or,
one moment.
would it be a spellcraft in this case? You're technically making something magical, so I would say spellcraft instead.
FYI, character wise, the difference between a level 4 and a level 3 is only 4K for you to craft. So it wouldn't actually be that much.
All right.
I cast Skillful Moment to take 20.
I mean, you could have taken 20 to do it anyways if you wanted to.
Huh?
You're not in any rush to do this.
Yeah, alright, then I'll take 20. You said it's what, Spellcraft or Arcana?
Spellcraft.
35.
Yeah. Um, it takes a little bit when Rava talked to you about doing this, you probably would have had to go to Rocco for him to just slightly explain how he did it. But you got the gist of it, and it takes about 5 minutes of concentration to get this thing. And then after the 5 minutes, the tiny crystal that you have in your hand goes from a blue color to a dark purple color.
Neat.
Perfect.
and Mustard like, "You done? You got what you need?"
It certainly appears that way.
Well, you said you had to put this in the thing to test it, right? So why don't you do that?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. I'll just try and slot it in and see if the watch turns on.
All right. So, I'll assume that you've looked at this watch many times, so you've probably looked at the front of it. So it's a normal watch, but inside, like where like the hands are, there's actually three different slots in it.
Mm-hmm.
When you insert the crystal into the slot and close it, and then turn it around,
Mm.
nothing happens for a few seconds, and then the hands on the clock just start turning and turning and turning and turning and turning and slowly start to speed up till they reach however fast they would normally go without the watch exploding. Uh,
Hmm.
and looking at the watch, the three things in it seem to. The first one seems to go up to at least 12. The second one seems to go up to at least 31. And then the last one has four slots on it, and it's currently only at. When you first looked at it, rather than when you were examining it for the first time, it was like at uh like 465 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at you now, it's constantly ticking up really fast. Until so fast and so that it gets to and starts to slow down until it gets to the current date,
Okay.
and it slows down and stops, and then it starts the pocket watch itself just starts ticking normally.
Hmm. Somehow it appears to have discerned what the day is. Curious.
Quite.
Yep. You now have a watch that tells you the exact time, date, month, and year.
Hmm. Fantastic. I'm sure that the gentleman who asked for this repair will be pleased.
Yes.
Um,
I might ask to borrow it from him again in the future and see if I can perhaps replicate it. But that's for another time.
after you have finished with him, and after Jonna has removed what she needed from the other crystal, the crystal that you got it from this golem's body, it's not quite as dark as it's the crystal inside of it, which is probably um, basically two of your fists in length. Like this is a rather big crystal, but it
Mm-hmm.
makes sense to power something this big. You're gonna need a bigger crystal, right?
Yeah, sensible.
Um, and he closes up the thing, and the robot doesn't start for a second, and he's just like, no. He opens up and actually goes in behind the crystal, and pulls out something else, and he pulls out a yellow orb.
Definitely wouldn't be the cancer stone, would it?
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sure.
The cancer stone doesn't sound very good.
Well, cancer like the zodiac sign, not the
Oh,
not the medical
Yeah, he's
condition.
touched now. He has cancer forever.
Yeah, yeah. The robot has cancer. It can only be kept off by lightning.
I am sorry,
Um,
I have
he
cancer.
takes a
Every time there's a storm, they have to stick him
he
on the
takes
roof, otherwise he'll
he
succumb.
takes this yellow stone that looks familiar to you guys, and puts it into a socket inside somewhere in the in the golem and closes it up again. And a few seconds later, the golem does restart. And Jonna, since you're the only one who technically speaks it, he says like, "What happened? All my systems went down." And Mustadio basically explains what you did. He says you're gonna have to charge that crystal for longer if we want to make it so you don't have to use this orb anymore.
Seriously, be more responsible, dude.
Um, he looks back to you and is like, "I'm assuming you guys have dealt with the Lucavi. Ramza told me so.
Who?
That
Oh
or
yeah,
Yeah.
that orb was an
we
orb that used
killed
to
one a few days ago.
that orb was normally used to power this guy, but when Ramza came back, he actually came back at a really good time because I was hoping to get rid of this orb. I found that crystal, and used it to power this guy so he wouldn't have to use, deadly demon magic to stay alive."
Yeah, no, I would definitely rather elemental magic than murderous explosive hell beasts.
Yeah, it
Do they
took.
all have gigantic swords, or was that just the one that killed our comrade?
Well, each of the Lucavi that we fought was different depending on what the uh, orb that it is specifically. The actually actually out of character, did they ever fight the cancer one?
I don't think so.
Uh, yeah, as to say they've never actually
Let's
fought
check,
the.
but I don't believe so.
Hmm. Uh,
It might have been some, they might have like added a bonus fight for it in War of the Lions or something. Let's see.
Not that I know of. Anyways, so now you have what you want. We're gonna be ending this soon, but there's something I want to quickly go over the last few weeks here because not much happens unless you guys have something specific that you want to do. Uh, we
Nah.
can do this out of thing of for like your salvaging with the people. But I want to go back to Sieg real quick before we continue on, basically so you guys can
Uh-huh.
level up. Um,
Okay, yeah, no, they never have to. They never have to fight what comes out of it.
okay, so Sieg, it takes you probably a, a day or so to get to Lazalia from your your company's place, and
Sorry about that.
basically,
How dare you?
uh, Agris wants you to be a not only guard Lazalia while you're here, but to be a secret messenger between you and your father, because uh, because and actually you probably super surprised because you probably have heard and seen a picture of him at least. Uh, Ramza is just walking around inside, I guess, whatever they can have for like a war room. And from what your dad told you, he was all but dead.
Not surprising.
Um, she has people set up uh, a messenger between each of the people about to do a even bigger thing than the undead thing, but this time communication's gonna be a lot more important for the fact that they're dealing with humans and not just random ass monsters. So she wants you to be here for when they figure out when, and it's only a matter of when at this point, because Roms has actually cut down how many places where they could hide at this point, where it's taken them for like who knows how long. Uh,
Hmm.
so it's all a matter of time, and they want you to, when they find out where their base is, to head back to basically go get your entire company and bring them to Lazalia. to basically wipe out the incursion, or at least get them to stop whatever the heck that is they're planning to do.
Yep.
And that being said, you're not going to be doing this for free, I assume. So she will pay you for while you're out
Yes,
protecting Lazalia.
yes.
Uh,
I,
so for the let's see, yeah, for the next 3 weeks, you'll be getting paid. Hmm, let's say, hmm, you know what? Screw it. Let's say you get paid 1,000 gil for each week, so 3,000 gil.
hey, I can get the sword upgraded now.
Um, and I don't know if the so that's basically all I have for you for right now. Rava, uh, we'll roll for things for see if you find anything important uh, at a later date or later before next session. See if there's any
Okay.
like tiny things your engineer friends might find. Uh, but the week has passed, and you guys head back to New Home with your large surplus of just scrap because that's basically all you could find. Uh, a few things. You got like half a cart of things that were salvageable, that parts could be taken out from it, and then you probably have a few things that you found that you can actually just repair and fix. So, with your cart loaded up, and I'm assuming Archibald and John are just drinking the entire time unless they do something else important.
It's a good time.
Or just drinking.
Probably be Ultraviolet in a drinking contest.
I'm pretty sure he would win. Uh,
Oh no, I don't think so.
you guys actually head back all the way to New Home with no issues. Um, and Rava, you and the engineer spend the rest of the 2 weeks basically scrounging through all the scrap and whatnot. And during those 2 weeks, the all the materials have been spread out. All the stone has been set as a foundation for New Home, so that how actual houses can start being built on it. Because magic. And,
And magic.
Yeah, check it out.
and uh, Archibald, I'm assuming while you're back at New Home, you're just cooking.
Yeah.
All right, I will give you a gil amount for that, for helping them out with that. Jonna, what do you do for the other 2 weeks?
Mm, um, just gonna keep on researching immortality and learning new spells, I guess.
All right, you can do that for two
So
weeks.
boring.
Um, and then on one day,
I also want to make sure I give that guy back his watch.
yeah, he's like, he's really happy that it actually works and actually looks like some kind of magical trinket.
Yeah, seems to be. Yeah,
Um,
if you let me look at it at a later date, I might see if I can replicate it because it seems like the sort of thing it would be useful for more people to have on hand. But
he looks
it'll be
down
a
at it.
while before that sort of time.
He looks down at it and just looks at you, and he just hands it to you.
No, I won't have a chance to work on it for a while. Please, it is your possession. I insist that you hold
He
on to it.
says, "Listen, I only picked it up by chance, and no one could figure it out. You're the one that figured it out. You take it.
Yeah, but
And if you
you
can
paid me
replicate it, and
to repair it.
if you're better than all of us and can replicate it anyways, we just get more of them. So I'm not really worried about it then. And if you need any of our help
Yeah.
with that, we'll be more than glad to help you with it. But we're
Okay,
gonna be
well,
going through
if
all
I
this
do
script.
manage to replicate it, then you're getting the first one.
He appreciates that. Because only says that because they've got lots of scrap and stuff to go through. Uh,
Yeah.
by the way, Rava, at the end of the near the end of the month downtime, an actual proper forge for stuff has actually been created because they need to
Ooh,
maybe make some actual metal with all the scrap, not all the iron scrap they brought back, but maybe just make things easier for people to fix. So if you ever
exciting.
need to use that, you're feel free to.
I yeah, would absolutely do that.
Um, but the most important thing happens at the end of the month's downtime. And see, you
Then we
actually
get it.
know to this have this happen to you first before the other three, and that is you're patrolling at a late night shift, and you're just walking around the streets, making sure no one's causing any trouble or anything. When
Mhm.
suddenly uh, it gets extremely bright, and the sky above you turns a sickly yellow white color.
Oh boy, sickly white. Are we dealing with sin eaters?
Um, and then, uh, if anyone is still awake at night, uh,
Hmm.
a few hours, an hour or so later, in New Home, the same thing happens to you. The sky suddenly turns a bright yellow white color.
Weird.
Um, s-
That's
uh,
probably not a good thing.
it's hard to tell from New Home, but it definitely came in from the west. And see, you'll probably notice it a little bit better because it's close to Lazalia. You probably get a little frantic, and some of the guards on like the top of the gates and whatever uh, notice something odd. And when you go up there to check on them, you look over to Brevenia Volcano, and it's a lot brighter than the rest of the sky. And that's where I'm gonna end it.
Oh, volcanic eruption. That's always good.
Yay! We're gonna fire the fire Lucavi probably.
All right.
That would be Belius. He's the first one we killed.
Uh,
He isn't.
hold on. Before you guys do anything, there's
Yeah.
two things I need you to do. First, I need to level your characters up to uh, next level,
Already on
and
it.
I need you guys to level up. Come on! I need you to level up Mogwin. I need you to level up Terrence, and I need you to level up Lux
Ew. To 7?
to 7.
Or okay.
Cool.
Because I
Okay.
have ideas for them, and I want them to be used in the game because I don't want them to just be standing around doing nothing.
Works for me.
So are you gonna use the character sheets and we're just leveling them up for
I
you
mean,
so you
should
have
Yeah,
be
you
just
see
use
fine.
them?
What with
just level up the what's on the character sheet.
the recently discovered
You
nerfed
you will be
Mohawk.
you will be controlling them. I won't be controlling them.
Ah, that's more work.
Come on, it's only level 5.
I
No.
actually think I leveled him up, but I could be wrong.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I'm going to stop